A friend of mine and I were discussing the idea of these glasses not being good enough disguise, and we decided to go to Times Square to test the theory. I wore a Superman t-shirt and no glasses and stood underneath the giant wraparound Batman v Superman posters in Times Square.
A man stands in the middle of Times Square in a Superman t-shirt directly under a giant billboard of his own face, and nobody looks twice. A tourist hands her leftover pizza to a homeless man on a New York sidewalk, never realizing he's a Hollywood star. And in a room full of Adele impersonators, one of them is the real Adele. Here's the strange truth about fame. Most of it isn't the face. It's the lighting, the red carpet, the security, the stage. Take all that away, drop a megastar on a subway platform or behind a velvet rope, and the most recognizable people on Earth basically turn invisible. We found dozens. Let's start with the ones who didn't even bother with a disguise. Henry Cavill ran the experiment on purpose. In 2016, right before his big Superman sequel, he walked into the busiest corner of Times Square in, no joke, a Superman t-shirt. No mask, no sunglasses, no hat, standing directly under a giant billboard for his own movie. Not one person stopped. Thousands walked past the literal Man of Steel and saw a buff tourist in a novelty shirt. The glasses really are good enough. Bryan Cranston went one better. He wore a mask of his own face. At a 2013 comic convention, he walked the floor in a hyper-realistic Walter White mask, posing with fans who praised his amazing cosplay and spot-on voice impression. They told the actual Walter White how great his Walter White impression was. He didn't give it away until he peeled the mask off his own face on stage. And he wasn't alone in there. The same convention floor swallowed Daniel Radcliffe in a full Spider-Man suit and a fake American accent, posing with fans who had no clue they were standing next to Harry Potter. Jared Leto wandered through in a baboon mask and took a selfie beside someone cosplaying his own version of the Joker. And Lupita Nyong'o danced the halls as the Pink Power Ranger, completely anonymous. When everyone's in costume, a megastar is just one more great costume. But what happens when the talent is the only thing on display? January 2007, one of the greatest violinists alive sets up in a Washington D.C. metro station at rush hour in a baseball cap and plays Bach on a Stradivarius worth $3.5 million. Out of 1,097 people, 7 stopped. 7. He made $32. 2 nights earlier, people paid $100 a seat to hear the exact same man. The write-up went on to win a Pulitzer Prize. Erykah Badu tried it in Times Square in 2014. One of the most distinctive voices in R&B, improvising live to a wall of pedestrians, cheekily singing about just wanting their money. Total take, $3.60. The hardest stage in the world, it turns out, is a sidewalk where nobody's expecting you. Late-night TV turned this into a whole franchise. Disguise a superstar, drop them on a subway platform, watch nobody notice. U2 busked a Manhattan station in wigs and cowboy hats, ignored, until they ripped the disguises off and the platform erupted. Christina Aguilera's voice started pulling a crowd before the wig even came off. Miley Cyrus, Maroon 5 behind giant fake beards, Green Day, Bad Bunny in sunglasses, every one of them invisible, right up until the second they weren't. But the wildest disappearing act isn't on a stage at all. It's behind a velvet rope. Wax museums run on one assumption. The figure in front of you is fake. Arnold Schwarzenegger weaponized that. In 2015, in full Terminator leather and battle makeup, he stood perfectly still inside the Wax Museum and let tourists pose with his statue. Then the statue moved. Grown adults sprinted for the exit before they realized they'd just been jump-scared by the actual Terminator. Ozzy Osbourne ran the same play in New York back in 2010, sitting dead still on a bench, waiting for fans to settle in next to the Prince of Darkness for a quiet selfie. One sharp turn of the head and grown men left the building. The bit is too good not to repeat. A beloved sci-fi cast froze as a fake new exhibit and came to life mid-photo, sending fans screaming. And a chart-topping boy band did it years earlier to a room of superfans who completely lost it when the wax figures reached out and tapped them on the shoulder. Cristiano Ronaldo put on a fat suit, a wig, and a scraggly beard and stood in a Madrid plaza doing world-class soccer tricks, dressed as a homeless man. The crowd ignored him completely until one kid stopped to play. The second the beard came off, the same plaza that had walked right past him swarmed him. A fun stunt and a quiet gut punch about who we choose to see. Katy Perry took it furthest. 5 separate prosthetic disguises for one music video, playing the world's worst party entertainers, crashing real birthday parties and a bar mitzvah, and genuinely ruining them. The guests were furious at these awful strangers, right up until the masks came off and the rage flipped into pure screaming disbelief. Jewel pulled off something sneakier in 2010, disguised as a mild businesswoman named Karen. She got up at a karaoke bar and sang her own multi-platinum hits to the room. They loved the voice and praised the amateur, and even after she told them, some still couldn't connect the woman in glasses to the actual superstar. Then there's the cruelest version. In 2014, Drake put on a beard, a wig, and glasses, grabbed a microphone as a fake street reporter, and asked pedestrians what they thought of Drake. People roasted his music right to his face, then watched in horror as the reporter peeled off the disguise and turned into the guy they just trashed. And sometimes the disguise is just a normal job. Shaquille O'Neal folded his 7'1" frame into the front seat of a rideshare car as an undercover driver, calmly chatting basketball with passengers who somehow didn't clock the giant behind the wheel. Will Smith did the same in Miami. Alicia Keys quietly drove strangers around, each reveal turning an ordinary ride into a screaming phones-out freakout. Maisie Williams flipped the whole game. Posing as a hobby shop clerk named Lorraine in 2016, she didn't reveal herself when fans recognized her. She denied it, flat out, insisting she just looked like the actress. Then she used the counter as leverage, making die-hard fans perform humiliating scenes from the show to earn their merch, while never once admitting who she was. Those are the stunts. The moments that really stick, though, are the ones nobody planned. In 2014, Richard Gere was filming a movie, deep in character as a homeless man, digging through a trash can near Grand Central Station. A French tourist named Karine Gombeau saw him, felt for him, and walked over to hand him her leftover pizza. He took it, stayed in character, and thanked her. She had no idea she'd just shown kindness to a movie star until she saw the photos in the paper days later. And then there's the greatest reveal of them all. In 2015, for a TV prank, Adele put on a prosthetic chin and nose, changed her voice, and walked into an audition for Adele impersonators. A room full of women who study her every breath for a living, and she stood right among them as a nervous newcomer named Jenny. She fumbled her cue on purpose. Then she opened her mouth, and you can watch it land on every single face in the room. The slow, dawning, tearful realization that the real one had been standing right next to them the whole time, but the most beautiful one needed no disguise, no cameras, no plan. In 2012, on the way to his own sold-out concert, Jay-Z sat down on a New York subway next to a 67-year-old artist named Ellen Grossman, who had absolutely no idea who he was. They just talked, two strangers on a train, until she finally asked him, point blank, if he was famous. One of the most famous men alive introduced himself quietly as Just Jay. No persona, no armor, just two artists sharing a train. Strip away everything we build around fame, and that's what's left underneath. A person, hoping the stranger next to them turns out to be kind. Every one of these proves the same thing. Fame isn't really in the face. It's in the lighting, the framing, the story we're told to expect. Change the setting, and the most famous people on earth become exactly what they were all along. Strangers you'd walk right past. So which one got you? The Superman shirt, the breathing wax statue, or Jay-Z on the R train? And who's the celebrity you walked past in real life and never realized? Tell us in the comments.